It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted to.
Woo! Oh yeah!
Hey everybody, welcome to Matty Matt's Bavarian Builds. This is day one of my vlog. This build will cover an N54 swap from a E90 with a 6-speed manual rear wheel drive, and we're going to be swapping that into a 1992 BMW E34 Touring. Yeah. Well, let's see how this goes. Thank you guys for tuning in at this point, and let's see how it goes. Sorry the camera footage on the first video is crappy. It's due to me using a flippin' Amazon camera that was cheap. Now I have GoPros. So, enjoy.
Okay, so in building this car, there's going to be a couple things that we need to do to the donor car and the reciprocant, you know, the car that's getting all the cool shit. Anyway, that car is this wagon, the 1992 non-Vanos M50 525 wagon. It's pretty clean, lots of cool stuff. So my goal today is to get the engine out. So as I've been going, I've been labeling wires. Okay, that goes to the aux fan, and that goes to whatever, the horn, because I pulled the front off. Much easier to get the engine out. And what I have done inside to prepare to pull the engine and transmission out is I pulled the 310 millimeters off of this. There, disconnected the little C-clip there, put it in neutral so that way I knew it was in neutral, and then pulled the switch from there, and the auto to manual switch, I just put that on there for reference so that way I know exactly what I'm doing. So that's that so far. And with these, you'll end up having to do the reverse light wiring and some other stuff I'll detail later when we go through that, when we install the manual pedal swap and get everything dialed in. There's that for that. So underneath where I'm at is the engine and tranny are still bolted in. All the lines, the harness is disconnected. The coolant line is off. I disconnected the drive shaft at the guibo. Disconnected the drive shaft at the guibo up there. My next step is to remove the exhaust from probably there. I'll start, and then disconnect the sway bar possibly, and drop the mounts, and then try and pull the engine out. So we'll go from there. See how this goes. Should be pretty quick. I have about 2 hours or so to get this done before I have to get ready to pick up my son. And there you go.
Woo!
So what I'm doing now is I'm going to pull the exhaust at the catalytic converter is to just 13 millimeter on both sides. For me to get any kind of ratchet. Okay, so some of these are going to be 12 and some of these are going to be 13. That's just the way life goes. Moving forward, 2 of the bolts broke, so always keep your old bolts, and either order new BMW from SVP Euro, or if you're in Escondido, from Escondido German Auto. So that's done. Did the hangers, exhaust hangers, and I'll undo the rear, and the back half of that Super Sprint exhaust should come off. The Super Sprint exhaust. So let's drop the exhaust and get that out of the way. Okay, so these are the bolts I'm talking about. There's 3 there, and then there's there. Hopefully, the camera got it somewhere in there. There we go. So what I'm gonna do is pull those, so that way we can drop the rest of the catalytic converters and get it off there. It's a 14 mil to pull these off, and like I said, I soaked them. Pretty easy. Alright, this one, quite a bigger impact gun, I would do it, but this thing does pretty much everything. Okay, got that one out. So there we go for that. Alright, that's off. So in about 25 minutes, 30 minutes, pull the exhaust. Here it is. Sorry I'm winded, I'm a little out of shape, and I'm crawling in and out from underneath the car. Super Sempran exhaust, going to E34, and the cats will be recycled for premium dollar. So now that we have the exhaust off and the O2 sensor unplugged and essentially almost ready to completely drop the engine and pull it in the trans, so this is where we're at. The hoist hooked up just to kind of support it. I took off the lower bolts off the engine mounts there, took the ground strap off. Did those are 17 mils. And then underneath here, I disconnected the guibo right there, pulled those off so that way it'll stay with the drive shaft. I don't really care. And then my next move is, well, eject I'm supporting the transmission with the jack. And now I'm going to pull the trans brace. So let's do that right now. So also, while I disconnected the trans brace, I also pulled the motor mount both. So these are all 13 mil. And the last one. Trans brace out. Get it out of the way. Boom, one step closer. Alright, so now I had to change my hat because it's hot. Anyway, now that I have the trans brace off, and both of them, the front and the back one, don't forget about the front one, pulling the Allen keys, getting that out. Anyway, after I have that, now I'm just going to try and get the engine out little by myself. I hope I have everything disconnected. We'll just kind of watch and see, right? Alright, stay tuned. Throttle cable's off, fuel lines are out, O2 sensor is unplugged, water line is undone. Seems to be pretty free from back here. I also did the coolant line from the little routing valve for the temperature sensor control thing there. Jack it up.
Hey! Whoa! Whoa, Casanova!
Whoa!
Hey!
Okay, we're hung up. So I have a jack underneath the trans.
I warn you, you have no chance!
Make sure we're not. All the power steering lines are undone. It seems to be cool so far.
You recognize this technique?
Oh yeah!
Remember, hey!
Good old self-leveling. For the car too to get a little better leverage, but I'm just kind of going with that.
Whoa, Casanova!
If you have a furniture dolly right now, would be a good time to on the back one.
Big score for Mom. Pokemon cupcake.
Atta girl. Never been so excited for Pokemon cupcakes in your life, right?
I saw ponies and Frozen, Spider-Man. I'm like, and I saw dragons.
Okay.
Like, okay, this will be cool, but like, Pokemon.
And just like that, folks, the M50 and tranny are out of the E34 touring. Let's take a look. So everybody, after a couple hours I'm at my deadline, and the engine's out. The M50 with the auto trans is out of the Project Matcher Smith.
Woo!
5 times fast. So we have an engine bay that's empty and a little dirty and grimy, but I'm going to go through this thing and make sure that it is up to snuff. So there you go. Drive shaft still in, just for reference. See it? Sort of brake leak, fluid leak before you can see all that. I'll clean all that up and repaint everything and get it all dialed in. Really slow. Yeah. Do that after test fitting, but now she gets cleaned. Hours later.
Woo! It's the damnedest thing I've ever seen!